called a silver rat.
The silver rat there.
Now, it's a mainland pattern.
Yep.
And in fact, I checked back on the records of the big fish caught in oh my God, since the 30s and 40s. And 2 flies stood out more than any other. Most of them were silver-bodied flies that took the record fish for each year. It was between the Lady Amherst and the silver red.
This is locally, you mean?
No. This is on the mainland.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You're talking about 30, 40, 50-pound fish.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful fly. Look at the coloration of it.
Now, they got to be good fish if they came from the mainland. He knows that.
No.
Beautiful. Well, here's the list of materials you will need to help tie this fly. The hook is a number 4 low water. The thread is white 3/0 monocord, red 6/0 monocord. The tag is fine oval gold tinsel. The tail is golden pheasant crest. The body flat silver tinsel. The ribs oval gold tinsel. The wing is gray fox guard hairs. The hackle is grizzly collared, and the head is red. And what I'll do is I'll pop this little baby out of said hackle pliers and
thank you very much.
Hand them over to you because we don't have 2 of them.
Okay,
Obi-Wan, where are we going?
Okay, we're going to attach.
First, we're going to put a hook in
the vise. We're going to put a hook in the vise.
Even I knew that one.
And we'll just lay it right in here like that.
All right.
Okay, and what we'll do is...
We're after getting some good feedback on this new vise of yours.
Oh, yeah.
People are quite impressed with this sucker.
Yeah. It's the best vise on the market.
Yeah.
I say that. And I have a lot of qualifications to do so, I think.
Because you've got lots of vices.
Yeah. Okay, now we attach our thread halfway between the return loop and right up to the eye, let's say. And the first material to go in is fine oval gold tinsel, and that's laid right on our side, our side of the hook. And just even with the end of the return loop. We'll make 1 turn. And what we'll do now, we'll just take our bobbin down and let it spin out a little bit. And lay some cement down. Oh, I thinned the cement out last night and I just went and put a lot on there, enough for 4 flies.
Okay. We're always wondering how much, it does look kind of... What do you use to thin out?
Lacquer thinners. Now, I've got that thread twisted and flattened. And I'm just going to wrap up in nice, close, even turns. It's laying down just right. And that lacquer is going to make that thread adhere to the shank, right? We're going to come back halfway between the return loop, between the barb and the point. 1 more turn, we'll do it. And then we'll just work forward in nice, close, tight turns to a distance equal to the point and the barb. That's how you get your tag.
Say that again?
I wrap back again forward in nice, close, tight turns equal to the distance of the barb and the point. Now the reason we do that is, a couple more turns, we moved up, like normally in the classic flies, the tag was placed between the point and the barb. But where we only went halfway between the point and the barb, I had to move my thread up, right? And I just got the same distance by just using the scissor points as a caliper. And laying it in there, it's perfect. Now we'll lay just a little touch of glue right here up on top. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now we'll wrap this in nice, close, tight turns. Now, those viewers that watch every week, they know that I usually use extra fine oval tinsel on tags, but when it's just tinsel in the tag, we could be here all day just trying to wrap that tag, right?
Well, I certainly could anyways.
Yeah, so I'll just wrap in the fine oval tinsel and it just fills up that spot pretty quickly, right? Now I'm going to have to move my voice a little bit and tighten it up because I haven't got it tight enough. There we go. Still not tight enough.
What's wrong with you today?
There we go. You got it?
Piece of cake.
Nothing to it. Okay, now the next material is golden pheasant crest for tail. And all I'm left with now are long crests, which I use as toppings, right?
Pretty slim pickings here.
Yes, sir. So I'll just strip off some of the fuzz, lick the crest down, and lay it on top. Now with the rotary voice, I can just turn that hook towards me a little bit, and I can see the top of the shank. And I'm going to put that tail just inside the bend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to lay that down like this right here. 1, 2 reps. And I should be laying right on top. Perfect. I'll look over on the other side. Not bad.
Perfect and not bad.
Not bad. We got one stray fiber there. We can even clip that out. But once it gets in the water, you'll see a few fibers kicking around, you know. The next material to go in is oval gold tinsel. Now, this tinsel is between a fine and a medium, and it's just the right size for this size fly, which is a 4 low water. Now, what I do next is, how to prepare this is I'm going to strip the tinsel off the core.
How will you strip the tinsel off the core, Rab?
Okay, what I do is just roll the tinsel towards me and slowly draw it out. And then what happens is you just snap it. And you can see you got no break there.
Wicked.
Isn't it? You have no break. And when you take these tweezers off, or hackle pliers, there's no frayed ends of tinsel kicking around. Now the reason why I did this was just to keep the bulk down in the fly. Now I'll just slide that up on the far side just to where the tinsel and the core meet. Okay? Now I shall come forward 1/3 of the body length. Again, twisting and manipulating the material so they stay in the same position that they were tied in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, we never listed this in the dressing, but this body has an underbody. You can go with a straight tapered body, but tinsel bodies look so nice when they've got a taper, just as floss bodies do. Do you agree?
I usually agree with whatever you say.
Oh.
I find
This is a bad thing to do, boy.
I find that's politically correct in the angling world.
Yeah. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stroke the floss out and just get the twist out of it,
So
okay?
this, what? White.
White all around.
Just white floss.
Yeah.
Do your teeth.
Yeah. Okay, now we'll just lay it on my side again and wrap that up. And again, in nice tight turns. We don't cut any waste ends out. It's important on these flies that you don't have any ridges or humps. So what you've got to do is wrap this up in nice close tight turns, and you're going to have a really even underbody. I'm going to stroke it out just a little bit more.
Why did you use so much? You have all that excess falling down the backside there.
Oh, don't worry about that. I may have reeled off a little bit too much. However, you do have to have a little extra so that you can manipulate the materials and wrap it. If you had just the right amount that you had to tie in, you'd never get it in. If you just had the exact length, because you'd run short, wouldn't you? You need so much kicking that around.
Yeah, but I mean, that does seem a little bit extreme.
We'll see.
We will.
But I must say, now, you've got a point there. I've been tying a lot of flies, big flies lately. And...
You're used to pulling off a big...
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing, though. I usually pull out just the right amount. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to back off on a couple of turns. And I'm going to cut out the materials along the side, even with the return loop, as we normally do. Okay. And the only material I left in was the tail, the golden pheasant crest tail. And the reason why I did that was because it helps so you won't get a big break up on top.
How do you mean a big break?
Well, if I had cut that there, it would have been just a big lump, and it would have...
Taper. Okay, it wouldn't have been gentle.
Oh,
all right.
No, it would have been a real bad lump there. Okay, now, we're going to back off on one turn there. We're going to wrap our underbody. It has to be nice and smooth. It's critical on these bodies, on tinsel bodies. Edge to edge. Wrapping with fairly firm pressure. And before I get to the tie-off area, I'll go back. Excuse me.
You're just going back to use up all that material. Make me look bad.
Now, here we go. Just before we get to the point where we tied it in, we're going to spin this, and this has to be flattened too. Very, very important that the thread be flattened now. Because no good wrapping a nice underbody and not having the thread. We're going to wrap this all down with the thread now, you know. No good having a nice flat floss underbody and wrapping it back with your thread and building ridges. We'll overspun on that one.
How can you tell? You just feel the...
You can feel it and you can see it. You just lay your bobbin down like this right here and you'll see it spinning. And you can see the twist in the thread. You can see it coming out. Okay, let's try that. Not too bad. Okay. Now, just before we get to the end, you saw me, I just buried it down with a couple of turns. Pull the floss forward, clip it in a side angle, flush with the hook. And we'll just bury that end. Now you can see the taper, can't you?
Yes, you may.
Yeah.
You
So the
can.
taper is slim at the rear and a little thicker at the front.
And then slim again at the end.
Yeah, and a little bit slimmer at the end because that'll help your wing to stay a little lower to the hook. Now, if it was just a great big bump right here, it would kick the wing up. It's hard to compensate for it, right?
Slim at one end, thicker in the middle, and slim again at the other end.
Okay, yep.
Like a brontosaurus.
Yeah, if you say so. Pretty good, John. Okay, now, the next material is flat silver tinsel. And I'm using Mylar here, but I do prefer tinsel to tell you the truth, but most of our guests now just don't have access to it. So what we'll do...
Most of our guests?
Our viewers.
Oh, okay. You've had them over, have you?
Yeah. Okay, now what I've done here is I just made a crimp in the tinsel.
Okay.
And here we go. And I'll just show that over. You can see the crimp right there now. I'll just slip that up on the far side. And tie it in. And I'm not quite back to the end of the underbody.
Okay.
I got almost one wrap that I'm able to make with that tinsel. Now I'll wrap this up in nice, close, tight turns, and I'll keep that material in the place I tied it off on. Tied it in. Again, I'm going to twist that thread and flatten it. Now people are going to say, boy, I'm going through some lengths to get the whole body on a fly, you know? But again, it's like I've always said, the fly that looks good to you is the one that's going to take fish. You're going to fish with more confidence.
And when you tie this in, do you want this on the side? Do you want it on the underbody?
On the side.
On the side.
Now I got a bit of a hump there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap back a little bit more and build up the last third of the body. Okay. Now it should be nice and even, which it is. Perfect. Yeah, perfect, John. It's really coming out well. Okay, now what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to clip out that underbody, or that just waist end of tinsel. And I'm going to tie off this thread.
Like you would?
Yeah. Now, I read a book, and it said that all rats were to be tied with red thread throughout.
Hang on now. You read a book?
Yeah. But what's the use of tying a red thread in a body in a fly that you're not going to see the color of the thread through? And if you miss a wrap of tinsel, you're going to see the thread through it. So this is why we use white as an underbody on silver body flies. Okay, now.
It doesn't decrease the strength of the body or anything by
Not at all.
by
Not at
going
all.
around.
In fact, it's better for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to wrap the underbody, and it's glued, and it's bound down, so it's not something that's just going to fall out on you, right? Okay, now we're going to wrap that tinsel. First turn, right by the tail. There should be no gaps. I'm going to look over. Okay, good. You shouldn't be able to see any white thread underneath. Okay, I'm going to lay my tinsel, ribbon tinsel up in my materials clip there. I'm going to wrap this nice and tight, edge to edge.
Okay.
And when you're wrapping Mylar tinsel, you should almost feel it stretch.
You really see, you're really giving
Putting
your
the pressure
bite a
on,
workout there, yeah.
And with tinsel, you even wrap harder. 3 turns to tie off.
I guess this shows the importance of having a good, strong vise as well.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Well, like one of our viewers called from, or wrote last year from Deer Lake, I believe it was, and he said he's got a voice, and we didn't know what voice he had, and he said it was slipping, his hook was slipping, and I said it's a Indian voice.
Yeah.
And he wrote us back, and he said, you were right. Okay, I'm not really pleased with that ribbing spacing.
Again, the rule of thumb is 5 wraps.
5 wraps.
I find a hard thing with the ribs is it looks great from my point of view, but then when I look on the other side of it,
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying. It is hard to get good ribs in there. Okay, it looks really good.
all right.
Now, what we'll do here is actually I'm going to take a couple more turns on that because ribbing tinsel has a tendency to slip.
Okay.
Okay, we're just going to clip out that ribbing tinsel, the waist end.
He'll be our brace for the whole trip.
Yeah. Now, the next material we're going to tie in is the wing material, and this is gray fox guard here, and it's not something that we're used to down here in Newfoundland. But I will tell you, it is one of the most beautiful winging materials that you can get.
Winging. Are you winging it, man?
Yeah, it's very soft.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, it's got an underfur in it that you can use for trout flies or some low water salmon flies.
Sure, yeah.
And but the guard hairs themselves, which are the outside fibers, the inside is underfur.
Mm-hmm.
These are guard hairs. It's exactly reversed to the gray squirrel that we use a lot here in Newfoundland. In that it has black tips instead of light tips.
Get it out of the way here.
Okay.
Come
Okay,
in.
we're gonna stack it. Oh, look, I got a yellow fiber here from a fly I had done previously.
Uh-huh. You should clean out your stacker.
Yep. Okay, now we just lay this on top, and we'll come.
How much do you want there, Rob?
No, we don't want too much of this hair. You want this hair to be able to move around.
Yeah.
And we're gonna come right up to the end of our tail. We're gonna measure our head space as we usually do.
Cut it on an angle.
Clip off on an angle. Now, it's not imperative that you do this in thirds. You can do this in twos because when you're down this far on the hair to the base, it's like the underfur. It really accepts glue and whatever readily, and it's very fine, so it's not going to pull out like squirrel tail. Okay, now we've got a bed laid down for our wings. We'll just lay this on. I'll check my wing distance, and here we go.
1 and 2. Two wraps will do you.
Sure.
Let me stand it up there for you.
Oh, it's a beauty. Good.
Okay. Well, then what's left?
Okay, the next material,
The collared hackle.
collared hackle. Our favorite.
Scalpel.
Yeah, so this is Grizzly Hackle. I'll show the devil dumpling technique again. Not that we need to show our viewers anymore. I think they pretty well got it now.
Look at this. This in the whip finish.
Yeah. Okay. I got that doubled, almost. And 2 or 3 turns of this material is all you need. So I'm going to come
Again,
back.
the advantage of this for any new viewers is that as opposed to having to use 2 individual hackles,
Or double wrapping.
yeah, you get the same effect with less bulk.
Yeah, sure.
It was a technique I showed Rob a little while ago, and he's really starting to catch on with it.
Yeah. Okay, we just clip up the tip and we'll wrap. One, two, I'm gonna go with three.
Okay.
And tie off on bottom. And clip up the quilt.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just haul it back a little bit. You're not going to be wrapping up over the quill, but we had some extraneous fibers kicking around. So we'll get them taken care of. We'll wrap the head a few times, up and down.
To build it up.
Build it up. Just this is fine thread, so I can get away with all these wraps. If that was 3/0 monocord, I'd have less than the wraps, right? And what we'll do now is just tie off at the whip finish.
Whip her off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And there you have
You do that.
the silver wrap.
Excellent job, Robert.